Hi YouTube, let's talk anticipated reads, let's talk arcs, let's talk books, here we go! Hello YouTube, welcome back to Stagey Bookish. My name is Olivia and we are here for a very special video today with so many wonderful books that have already come out in 2019. It is this time of year that BookTube and myself looks ahead to the rest of 2019 and what our most anticipated reads are. Now, I would like to share with you, this is very much just a sample because I keep discovering new books every day that are out in the second half of 2019. I'm going to be so broke. I'm just going to have no money whatsoever. But what I wanted to share with you today are just some of my anticipated reads for the rest of the year. And actually in here, I tell you that there is one 2020 release in here, but I'm so fascinated by it, I'm really intrigued to go with it. I should explain, all of these copies you're about to see are ARCs. However, these are not from publishers. I have a dear friend who lives in the United States who, she will be watching this video, so she asked not to be mentioned by name, but she has recently been to a lot of the big book shows. She's book mad like me, and she's been to BookCon, Book Expo, ALA, when it's been all around the country, and she has amassed different arcs from different places and different people, and when she goes, bless her, any that she's either read and wants to pass on, or she picks up extra copies because she knows we'll both like it. She was like, do you want me to send them over to you? I'll pay postage. And I went, yes. And I was like a kid at Christmas when I opened this box. This happened. And when you start with the books I've got here, you'll see why. So we're going to start off with September. I've got some September, October, November, and then some 2020 releases to share with you. So remember, just a sample, but here we go. Right, starting off with September releases. I have 3 releases here for you. I'm going to start with this one. Katharine McGee is coming out with American Royals. Can you see? What fascinates me with this, I'm going to move over a second, I can't see. What fascinates me with this book is essentially what would life be like if America had a royal family. I am expecting craziness, I am expecting chaos, I am expecting fun and laughs and drama. I love this cover. It's such a gorgeous cover. But I know certainly earlier in the year I read Prince Charming by Rachel Hawkins, which was about kind of royal families and kind of, you know, normal families going to visit royal families, and I love the vibes in that, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Like I said, all of these, thank you to my amazing friend, you know who you are, I love you. Second one, this has been bigged up to me as Black Panther for girls. Hey! Slay by Brittany Morris. This is another September release. But if I give you an idea with this, by day, 17-year-old Kira Johnson is an honours student, a maths tutor and one of the only black kids at Jefferson Academy. But at home, she joins hundreds of thousands of black gamers who duel worldwide as Nubian personas in the secret multiplayer online role-playing card game Slay. No one knows Kira is the game developer, not her friends, not her family, not even her boyfriend Malcolm, who believes video games are partially responsible for the downfall of the black man. But when a teen in Kansas City is murdered over a dispute in the Slay world, news of the game reaches mainstream media and Slay is labelled a racist, exclusionist, violent hub for thugs and criminals. Even worse, an anonymous troll infiltrates the game, threatening to sue Kira for anti-white discrimination. Driven to save the only world in which she can be herself, Kira must preserve her secret identity and harness what it means to be unapologetically black in a world intimidated by blackness. But can she protect her game without losing herself in the process? Now, let's just be having honest talk here, YouTube. I am not probably the intended audience for this book, if you get me, but this fascinates me. I am really intrigued by this, and as I don't know if I've said it in previous videos, the students I work with, because you all know I work in education and that I'm a librarian, some of the students that I work with, this is them in a book. And I want them, and one of my biggest things with them is that I say to them, I want you to be able to see yourself in books. And for me, I know some of them will relate to this, and that kind of idea about, you know, being unapologetically black and black enough. So this is it could be a really important read. I like the touch of the girl gamers in there as well, which is something that's very new. Finally for September, my Marvel film heart is so excited about this, and my bookish heart is happy as well because it's by one of my new favourite authors. Mackenzie Lee of Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue has taken on Loki, where mischief lies. I don't even need to read the back of this. Mackenzie Lee and Loki from the Avengers films. Sold. I don't even need to know the back. But basically, before the days of going toe-to-toe with the Avengers, a younger Loki is desperate to prove himself heroic and capable, while it seems everybody around him suspects him of inevitable villainy and depravity. I mean, look at that face. Of course, it's damn well villainous. Tom Hiddleston. Fuck the world. Except for Amora, Asgard's resident sorceress in training feels like a kindred spirit, someone who values magic and knowledge, who might even see the best in him. Hey! But when Loki and Amora cause the destruction of one of Asgard's most prized possessions, Amora is banished to Earth, where her powers will slowly and excruciatingly, all the long way, fade to nothing. Without the only person who ever looked at his magic as a gift instead of a threat, Loki slips further into anguish and the shadow of his universally adored brother, Thor. Let's have some moment for Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Moving on. When Asgardian magic is detected in relation to a string of mysterious murders on Earth, Odin sends Loki to investigate. As he descends upon 19th century London, so it really is a backstory, Loki embarks on a journey that leads him to more than just a murder suspect, putting him on a path to discover the source of his power and who he's meant to be. Yes, here for it all. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not going to say anymore. So excited for this September release for this one as well. Moving on, after my excitement over the Loki book, to October. I have 2 books for October, but I think these are probably 2 of the most talked about titles for October. I think that's a good way of putting it. Let's start off with the divine goddess that is Renee Ahdieh. I think I've said that right. And her return with the beautiful. First thing, cover goals. I'm sorry my blinds keep flashing the way it's sunny outside. Look at that. It's 1800s. Vampires in New Orleans. I've been corrected on that before. New Orleans. And it's Renee Ahdieh. Vampires are bringing it back. Is it going to be Twilight all over again? I think it's going to be probably classier than Twilight. No offence to the fans, just my opinion. But yeah, I am new to Renee Ahdieh's books. Wrath of the Dawn, The Rose and the Dagger are ones that are on my TBR list, but I know her writing is so good. I have so many friends that are trying to rip this from my hands, and I'm like, no, precious, the precious. No, another precious for October. Oh yeah, your girl has got a copy of Ninth House. Told you my friend was good, didn't I? Leigh Bardugo, Goddess. This is her adult debut, or certainly one of her first adult novels. It's set at Yale University. There's secret club societies, there's a cult, there's mystery, there's everything. I have seen talk on book Twitter recently of lots of trigger warnings for this, so please do be careful going into this, but I am fascinated to see into Leigh Bardugo's world and see what she comes up with this. Also, Booksnake. Rock the Booksnake. I've got a finished copy coming of this as well, because the UK cover, I think we have a red Booksnake, and I'm like, here for it. Oh, I'm getting so excited about books. I'm sorry. Shall we carry straight on into November? 3 for November and 3 equally epic ones. So if we're going in an epic, beautiful 9000. Your girl has also got a copy of the Star Listing. First thing, look at it. Look at it. It is so damn pretty, and it's carried on in the back as well. The Waterstone, is it the Waterstones edition or the Goldsboro UK edition? Is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I think I've paid more for a copy of that than I ever have for a book ever. Starless Sea, this is the follow-up, not necessarily the follow-up, this is Erin Morgenstern's second novel. I am only new to her work this year. In fact, The Night Circle is one of my most recent reads, and I loved it. I just thought it was so beautiful and so lyrical. I am dying to get into this, particularly because it's talking about secret libraries, and I'm like, your girl's a librarian. She feels Erin Morgenstern. She knows, she loves. This is going to be a stunning read. That is, just says November. Check your local listings. Another one for November. Girls of Paper and Fire is another book I've read this year. So ready for November when the sequel, Girls of Storm and Shadow, comes out. Loved it, got the original copy. I've just actually ordered a finished copy of this book from Fairy Loot. Give them a shout out. They did a special edition of Girls of Paper and Fire last year in one of their boxes, and they've done a cover to match, which they announced at YALC YALC at last weekend, so I've ordered a copy of that, so I'm definitely getting a finished copy. Loved the first story, loved the characters, loved the development, loved the discussion about really harsh topics and some really devastating things happen to these characters, but I'm here for it. I know one of my favourites in the entire world, Garen over at Goblet of Fiction, has already read this and he cried, and I'm like, oh my god, if Garen cried, this is going to destroy me. So this is going to be happening soon as well, because that's November. My final one for November is one that actually came last, because she's only just got a copy of it, and I'm very excited for this one. Excuse me while I adjust my seating. Ooh, The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. This is a kind of take on Camelot Arthurian legend, which is something I've loved since I was little, and it's essentially looking at what if the sword in the stone didn't choose Arthur, it chose a woman. Yeah, I'm interested for this. Firstly, can we get some zooms on this cover? I'm sorry if my look, and it's gold, and it's foily, and it's beautiful. So this is just, I'm totally here for this. It's going to be the first in a trilogy, which I've just noticed on the back, the Camelot Rising trilogy. This is something I'm really eager to read. There's another one out, I don't know if it's September, October, Cursed, by, I want to say Thomas Wheeler and someone else, which again is a take on the Arthurian legend. This is something I've loved since I was little. Any UK viewers of a certain age may remember many moons ago, I don't think it's still there, there used to be going north from me, because I'm slap bang in the middle of the UK, a theme park called Camelot, which was like all the works, and they did the shows with, like, you know, the knights and the jousting, and you could, you know, dress as a princess. And one of my earliest childhood memories is we went to Camelot, and I had my face painted as a princess, because that's what you do, and I remember coming out of the face painting tent, and the knights were just walking past, like, not walking past, riding past on their horses, and that King Arthur kind of saw me, looked at me, and kind of gave me a bow with his head, and I was like, oh, King Arthur just bowed at me. So I've loved all that kind of thing since I was little. This is a fascinating read. I really can't wait to get into this one. This is going to be so good. November for this one as well. And last but by no means least, again, these are just some of these titles I'm looking forward to. This is actually a 2020 release, and not one I'd heard of until I heard it going around BookTube. I believe Chelsea Palmer, find her, she's fab, mentioned it, and a few other people mentioned it. But again, going back to what I've said previously, I love retellings. Disney Girl for Life, so it's a Disney retelling, or it's like the Arthurian retellings with the Guinevere Deception. I love retellings, and one of my favourite things to read. And this one, not one I'd kind of heard of, but I'm interested. Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim. This is scheduled for January 2020, okay? And from what I've heard about this, it's essentially a female, is it queer? I don't know if it's queer, but a female retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo. I don't know why that intrigued me, but I'm here for some kick-ass female characters and them in all their absolute glory. So again, this fascinates me. This is the one I've got, you know, it says on here, the gender-swapped retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo, I stand corrected, is the first novel in an epic YA fantasy duology, perfect for fans of Sarah J Maas, Sabaa Tahir and Leigh Bardugo. Queen, Queen, Queen. This is going to be a good one as well. I could literally sit here all day. I've got so many, my friend has been so amazing and sent me like so many arcs. I'm like, I've got so many to read. But I'm so excited. It's going to be good reading month, and this is why I'm making time when I'm at work to read. Just a sample of those. Please hit me up in the comments. Are you excited to read any of these? Are there things that I haven't mentioned that you're liking to read? Hit me up down in the comments. You know I love to hear from you guys, so please talk to me. Let me hear what's going on. I'm sure as the rest of the year goes on, I will be talking about a lot of these books a lot more, and I look forward to talking with you guys a lot more about them as well, BookTube. Once again, thank you for such the wonderful welcome you have given me. I'm so appreciative of it. I love you all to death. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until the next video, this is Olivia at Stagey Bookish, signing out. Bye.